I've been on the road 23 years. The first 10, I hated the silence. Now I don't notice it. Or I pretend not to. The hum of the engine, the drone of tires on pavement, the occasional crackle of the CB. Those are companions. The rest is just space, stretching out between cities like something ancient and indifferent. This run was nothing special. Wyoming to Pennsylvania. Flatbed hauling steel beams. Routine. I'd done it before in early November, when the air starts tasting like cold iron and the sun sets too soon. I pulled out of Casper just after dawn, sky pale behind the mountains, frost still gripping the undercarriage. The GPS said 28 hours, give or take. I figured I'd stop once, maybe twice, stretch my legs, drink bad coffee, sleep in the cab with the heater on low. The first day passed without note. Same roadside diners, same flickering neon, same polite nods to other drivers at truck stops. I like that. All predictable, all quiet. You learn to appreciate the sameness. It keeps your mind from wandering. It started on the second night. I was west of Topeka, cruising down I-70 just past midnight. Flatlands on either side, fields swallowed by darkness. Nothing moves out there when it's this late. Nothing should. But I saw something. A shape in the ditch. Human-sized. Still. I slowed, squinting through the windshield. My light swept over it. It was a man. Tall, thin, wearing a dark coat. Standing. Not waving. Not moving. Just facing the road, staring at me. I tapped the brakes. He didn't react. No blink, no shift of weight. I thought maybe he was hitching. But no one hitches at 1 in the morning in the middle of nowhere. And no one stands that still. I drove on, checked the mirror. He was gone. Probably just a scarecrow, I told myself. Or a mirage. Eyes playing tricks. I turned up the radio, NPR, low volume, and let the road absorb me again. An hour later, same stretch, same flat fields. Another figure, same coat, same posture, facing the highway. My fingers tightened on the wheel. That wasn't possible. I hadn't passed any exits, no crossroads, just open prairie. This one was closer. I saw the coat more clearly. Long, wool, buttoned to the chin, face shadowed, but the stance, identical, like a photograph repeated. Again, no reaction as I passed. Again, gone in the mirror. I reached for my phone. No signal. I checked the time. 1:17 a.m. I hadn't felt tired before, but now my neck ached. I pulled over at the next rest area, killed the engine. The silence rushed in. I sat there, listening to the cooling metal, trying to steady my breath. Maybe stress, maybe fatigue. I hadn't slept well the night before. Or maybe it was the isolation, the kind that settles in after too many hours alone, where the mind starts stitching patterns into emptiness. I left the lights on for a while, walked a slow circle around the rig. The air was dry, sharp. Stars crowded the sky. No sound but the wind brushing the concrete. I got back in, started the engine. Decided I'd push to the next truck stop, maybe get a few hours in a real bed. But as I got back on the highway, I saw him again. Same distance ahead, same coat, same stillness. This time, he was standing in the median. I didn't slow. Couldn't. My foot pressed the pedal, and the rig surged forward. He didn't turn. Didn't flinch. I didn't look back. After that, I kept the speed steady. Watched the road, the mirrors. My eyes darted every few seconds. But nothing else appeared. By dawn, I was out of Kansas, into Indiana. The sky lightened with that weak, washed-out gray. I found a diner off the exit, parked, went inside, ordered eggs and coffee. The waitress was older, tired eyes, name tag reading Marge. She didn't ask questions. I didn't offer answers. I sat facing the window. Semi-trucks rolled by. Normal. Real. I tried to laugh at myself. Hallucinations? From lack of sleep? Maybe. But the image of that figure, the absolute stillness, the way it seemed to expect me, stuck. That afternoon, in Ohio, it happened again. A figure in a field. Same coat, same stance. Then another near a closed grain silo. Then one beside an overpass, standing where no sidewalk existed. They never moved. Never acknowledged the noise, the lights, the sheer mass of me passing by. They just waited and watched, always facing forward, always alone. I stopped checking the mirrors. I focused on the white line, on the rhythm of the tires. I turned the radio off. The silence felt safer. That night, I pulled into a truck stop just outside Youngstown, paid for a shower, scrubbed off the road grime, stood under the weak stream until my skin prickled. I lay down in the cab, wrapped in my blanket, closed my eyes, and dreamed of standing, not walking, not running, just standing, in empty spaces, in the dark, facing the road, waiting for something I couldn't name. I woke before sunrise, checked the mirror as I started the engine. He was there. Not in a field, not beside the road. Standing behind my trailer, in the parking spot just behind me. Same coat, same posture, facing the truck. I sat frozen, engine idling. My breath fogged the windshield. I didn't move, couldn't decide what to do. Get out? Drive away? It wasn't threatening. It wasn't doing anything. But it was there, in the reflection, perfectly still, as if it had always been there. I put the rig in gear, backed up slowly. When I looked again, nothing. Just an empty space. A few tire tracks in the gravel. I drove the last leg to Scranton in silence. Delivered the load. Signed the papers. Nobody asked if I was all right. I didn't look at anyone too long. Now I'm back on the road, heading west again. Different route this time. I don't want to go back through Kansas, or Indiana, or Ohio. But last night, somewhere in West Virginia, I saw a coat caught on a barbed wire fence. Dark wool, torn at the sleeve. It was empty. And for a second, just a second, I thought it shifted in the wind, like it was trying to turn. I kept driving. I don't know what they want. I don't know if they're real. But I know they're learning how to follow the route. I've always liked the night shift. Most people do at first. The paycheck, the quiet roads, the way the city shrinks into a grid of sleeping bodies while you zip through it with your cargo. I drive a white van for a delivery service that caters to all-night diners, pharmacies, and the occasional late-hour convenience store. My route is fixed, simple. A loop from the warehouse on 12th to the outskirts of town and back, usually finished by 3 a.m. It's routine, predictable. That's why I like it. But lately the loop has felt longer. Not in miles, but in hours. Like the clock is dragging, or I am. I've started noticing things, small things. The flicker of a porch light that's always burned steady since I began this job. A delivery address that arrives twice in 1 week, though I'm sure I've never seen that house before. A customer who always answers the door in a stained terracotta robe, sipping tea as if it's 7 p.m., not 2 a.m. I hand over the box, say thanks, and he smiles, too wide, and says, "You always deliver this at the same time." I don't know what time I always deliver it, because every other time I check my watch, it reads different. The first week I thought I was tired. Lack of sleep does funny things to your mind. But now it's been weeks, and the tiredness hasn't gone. The van's heater whirs the same way each night. The dashboard radio picks up the same staticky station, 89.3, but the frequency blurs when I pass under bridges, and the roads, Oh, the roads. They're the same, aren't they? But when I pass the exit for Elm Street, which curves left toward the river, it's no longer marked. A missing signpost. When I double back, it's there again. Maybe rusted in place. Maybe bent, like it's been struck by something. The strangest thing, though, is the van's odometer. Last month, the round trip was 37.2 miles. This month, it's 37.2 each night, even when I take a detour to check if the streets are the same. The GPS says turn left. The road says go straight. The GPS corrects itself and says, recalculating. But I've memorized this route. These streets don't exist. Last night, I delivered a box to a house on Chestnut Lane. The woman who answered the door had a face like crumpled paper. Her eyes were two smudges of ink beneath a widow's peak. She handed me a white envelope without speaking. Inside was a receipt for a box I hadn't yet delivered that night, dated for tomorrow. I stared at it too long. She said, "You should keep driving. It's not safe here after the hour." Her voice was velvet over broken glass. I got back in the van, engine humming like a wasp in a sealed jar, and drove on. Tonight, I wondered if I'd imagine the woman again. I wondered if she'd answer the door, or if someone else would. But when I pulled up to Chestnut Lane, again, it was the same woman. Her light was off this time. The door cracked open. "Not here for delivery?" I asked. She didn't answer, just held out the same receipt, dated for tonight, and said, "You'll be back tomorrow." I almost didn't stop this time. I almost drove past the warehouse, past the exit, into the unknown. But the van's door won't open past the turnpike. The keys don't work when I'm not on the loop. The odometer ticks 37.2, 37.2, 37.2. The radio is silent now, just static, and the heater doesn't blow. I'm writing this in the van, hands shaking. The warehouse clock says 2:47 a.m. The van's engine is off. I haven't moved in hours, maybe days. The woman's receipt is in my glove box. I don't know if I'm still writing this, or if I'm dreaming it. The van locks automatically now. The doors don't open. The odometer doesn't move. The only thing that changes is the receipt. The date always shifts to tomorrow. The address is always mine.